perhaps the best example I know of a company that is devoted to creating a culture of servant leadership is a company called NextJump, based in New York City. This is a picture of Charlie Kim, who's the founder and CEO, and he's become a friend of mine because this guy's incredibly inspiring. But Charlie and the other leaders at NextJump are always looking for ways that they can make the lives of their people better. And they're creating an entire culture of people who are devoted to helping others. I would argue that their culture is actually stronger than the famous culture at Google. Yes, NextJump has free, healthy food for their employees that they can eat whenever they want. They have an on-site gym with personal trainers and tons of free classes. But NextJump takes building a culture of servant leadership and caring for their people even further. Here's one example. NextJump actually does their employees' laundry for them. They have a practice at NextJump that they routinely ask their people, what can we do to help you be happier, both at home and at work? And whenever they hear the same thing more than twice, they assign a leadership person to look into it. Well, a couple years ago, some employees said, you know what would be really nice is if we didn't have to spend half of every other weekend in a New York City laundromat. So Charlie said, well, you know, if my people are happier on their weekends and enjoy their weekends more, they're going to be more productive when they come into work. So he asked his people, how much would it cost for us to do this? And he learned that his employees were not even asking for the company to pay for it. They just wanted the company to facilitate the process so that they could enjoy their weekends more. Charlie said, well, tell me how much it would cost anyhow. It turns out that although dry cleaning is pretty expensive, just standard washing and drying is not that bad. So nowadays, employees at NextJump bring their laundry into work in a bag just like this. It's taken to be washed, dried, and folded and put back into a clean bag, and then they take it home a couple days later. I don't think you can read this, but below the NextJump logo, it reads, my company gets my laundry, I get my weekends back. So then NextJump encourages their people to go out and serve in the same way. And one of the ways they do this is with a program called Code for a Cause. So at NextJump, they get some of the top computer programmers in the world working for them. And what the leaders at NextJump do is encourage them to go out and spend at least 2 weeks every year writing code for any nonprofit they want to. And they're paid their full salary to go do it. Now, the results of this program are incredible. These people go out in teams of 3, and they accomplish in 10 days what some of these nonprofits have been trying to do for years. So they come back to the office feeling like rock stars, inspired to continue to grow and to inspire the people around them to grow so they can go out and serve in the same way. Another way they encourage their people to be servant leaders is with an award called the Avenger Award. I think they name all their awards after superheroes, actually. But the Avenger Award is $20,000 and a 3rd week of paid vacation. This award does not go to the top salesperson. It doesn't go to the top programmer. It goes to the #1 peer-voted, most helpful, selfless person in the company. It goes to the top servant leader. That's how devoted NextJump is to building a culture of servant leadership. Now, what do you suppose happens when you build a culture like that? Well, you get the best people in your industry working for you. They're fully engaged while they're on the clock, and they don't want to leave. In 2012, NextJump had almost 18,000 people apply for 35 positions. Let's think about how powerful that is for a second. They get to select several hundred of the smartest, most talented people in the industry out of a pool of 18,000 applicants, and then they get to handpick the top 35 people from that pool that are the best fit for their culture, people that are humble and are driven and aspire to help others. The employees at NextJump are so engaged that they've actually asked to have 2 bedrooms put in the New York City office so that when they want to stay late working on a project, they can just sleep over. Now, at first, Charlie said, no way. People are going to think I'm running a sweatshop here. But the employees were really adamant about it. They made a good case. They said, well, look, if we want to stay late because we're really excited working on a project and we take the subway back and forth to work, we lose like 2 hours of sleep. If we could just spend the night here, we'd get those 2 hours of sleep back and we'd wake up in the morning refreshed and ready to go right back to work. So now there are 2 bedrooms in the New York City office. Can you imagine a company where the employees are so engaged that they ask to be able to sleep over in the office? And turnover at NextJump is almost zero. The employees there typically get phone calls from other companies in the tech space offering them 2 to 3 times what they make at NextJump. The employees don't even return the phone calls. So another advantage of building a culture where service to others is so highly valued is that the employees not only want to help each other more, they go out and they want to serve the community more. So in October of 2012, when Hurricane Sandy devastated New York City, the NextJump employees in the New York City office missed a whole week of work. But they're on salary, so they didn't lose any pay. But they did realize that all of the people around them that had hourly wages, they lost a whole week of pay. So you know what the NextJump employees did? A large number of them got together, and they agreed to donate a portion of their paychecks to make up for the lost wages of all the hourly employees that they interact with. This is a picture of a NextJumper named Lokia, who's offering a portion of the funds to some lovely ladies at the local donut shop. And apparently she said that these ladies were so happy and so surprised by this that they said, "Oh my God," at least 10 times while she was there. Now, I think that this is one of the most powerful benefits of building a culture of servant leaders, because serving our community is not only a really effective way to attract and retain top talent, but it's also a very effective way to strengthen our brand and to generate word-of-mouth exposure and advertising. This is an excellent book written by my friend Simon Sinek, and it offers another very simple yet very powerful idea for how we can better serve our people, and that is to connect them to an inspiring purpose. So what Simon discovered was that if you look at all the most inspiring leaders throughout history, they were all very clear on why they do what they do. And it was usually some variation of serving a purpose bigger than themselves. They were also very effective at communicating their why to other people. So earlier I had mentioned to you that turnover at NextJump is almost zero. Well, a few years ago, that wasn't the case. When those employees got phone calls offering them 2 to 3 times what they make at NextJump, they were more likely to jump ship. I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere, right? So what Charlie did was he started to work with Simon to be able to better communicate his why, which, as it turns out, is very inspiring. So Charlie's father has always dreamed of ending world hunger, and he's actually smart enough to do it. Dr. Kim is the most famous corn scientist in the world. He's referred to by the Encyclopedia Britannica as the father of corn, and he's been nominated for the Nobel Prize 3 times. The only reason he hasn't won is because he's absolutely terrible at presenting his ideas, whether it's verbally or in writing. And what Charlie saw growing up was that all these people would come to his dad and say, "I want to help you," if they could get something out of it. They would say things like, "Well, Dr. Kim, I'll help you present your ideas and win the Nobel Prize if you'll give me 40% of your patent rights." He never saw anybody come to his dad and say, "Dr. Kim, I would like to help you because you're a good man who's working to help a lot of people." And as Charlie's business started to grow, he realized he could do something to change that. If he could run a highly successful business that was built on a foundation of a culture devoted to helping others, other people would want to copy that business model. And if enough organizations operated with a business model based on helping others, it could have a significant positive impact on our world. So with Simon's help, Charlie found a way to communicate very clearly and concisely why NextJump exists. It's to do the little things that allow others to do the great things that they're meant to do. And nowadays, people at NextJump are crystal clear on why they come to work. They don't come to work simply to write code or just to make sales or just crunch numbers. They come to work inspired every single day because they're part of a team that's working to change the world. And they don't want to leave.